everyone. So today this is the look that I created. This is a kind of more of a modern day Elsa look. I wanted to do something that was not as crazy, not as out there. I know that Elsa's kind of last year's, the year before that news, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not quite sure. But I got this blue wig and I was inspired to create something that was Elsa inspired. This was my spin on a modern day Elsa look. You could do this for Halloween, or you could just do this every day, like depending on how much you love her, or if you just love experimenting with makeup, which I do. I'll be wearing this for the rest of the day. And yeah, so this is what I created. It's kind of muted down, but still glam and still sassy. So if you want to see how to get this, then go ahead and keep on watching. Sweater and wig is just not the best combination when it comes to doing anything. What I'm going to be using to prime my eyes is going to be the Age Rewind by Maybelline, and I'm just going to chuck this on my eyes. You know, I'm just going to use my finger to blend this out. Easy lemon squeezy. So today, the palette that I'm going to use is the Yes Please by Colourpop. And inside it looks like this, and this is kind of said to be whatchamacallit, kind of a dupe of the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. So I wouldn't know, I can't afford Natasha Denona's though. I'm just gonna go in and kind of do a little review on this to let you know how I feel about this actual palette. So I'm gonna go in, dip into this color right here. I'm gonna go and set my eye with that really light color. Next, I'm going to go and take this peachy color right here. This is called Big Cocktails, right? Big Cocktails? I'll list the colors down below. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna chuck this into my crease. They're pretty powdery. There's a good amount of kickback right now. Next, I need to color swatch some things up in here. So I'm just going to take this brush. I'm going to get all the color off of it. It's still going to be pink, but that's as good as I can do. I'm going to go and take this color right down here, which technically should be Chauffeur. I don't know. I will list that down below. And see, there's a pretty decent amount of kickback in here. As you can see, it kind of goes everywhere. They are blending out pretty smoothly, which is nice. It's not sticking to anything, and I can appreciate that. I'm gonna chuck this in the crease on top of that other color that we used and kind of blow this out. I'm gonna be cutting the crease, so I'm not really worrying about how messy this is getting. But I'm taking this color right here and taking a smaller brush, which just needs to be color swatched anyway, and I'm very slightly putting this in the crease on this outer corner. So browns are really hard to get right, but I can't really judge this one. It looks a little bit patchy, but nothing extremely crazy. I'm gonna keep adding this brown in here and blending it out. And this is building up pretty nicely, honestly. Let me look up close and see how I feel. Okay, so it's not coming out patchy, which is really nice. I can dig that. This is a fairly cheap palette too. I mean, will it be as good as Natasha Denona from what I know? Absolutely not. But the colors, if they're fairly close, then this might be, you know, your better option instead of spending like almost $200 on a Natasha Denona palette. This is fairly cheap. I can dig that. I am liking this. This looks pretty nice so far. So what I do want to do now is take a flat little brush, something like this, and I'm just going to go back into that same concealer that I started with, the Maybelline, and I'm going to cut the crease. So I want to go right above my crease in here, and then I'm gonna stop like right where I kind of did the outer brown V. This looks about right to me, and I'm gonna also take my finger and kind of dab this outer edge right here so it's not as harsh. And to set the whole lid, I'm gonna go back into this white shade right here that I used to set the whole lid, and I'm just gonna take that big fluffy brush and kind of set the concealer down. I don't want it to be shimmery or anything like that, so I'm just kind of setting this down. And then I'm going to take a little smaller kind of definer brush for the crease and darken up that crease color. So I'm going to take this kind of white little brush right here, and I'm going to dip into this brown and kind of just soften this outer edge right here. I'm also going to take this and kind of pop it in the crease to make sure that there's not an extremely harsh line here, but it is nice and cleaned up. I really want to smoke this outer edge right here. And I'm also going to mix these two colors together as well and just pop this right in this edge right here. And add some more to the actual outer V. And drag that out. I'm also going to go back in with a little bit of the concealer because I kind of messed up a little bit and kind of just clean this edge right here with no extra product, just like the excess that's left there. And then I'm just going to go and without any extra product just kind of fluff this over again. And for liner, I'm going to go and use my Stilla liner, and this is in the color Diamond Dust. I'm going to brush this on the back of my arm and I'm going to draw liner with this. I'm going to take my MAC 263 and I'm going to draw my liner on. And dotting it on instead of dragging it once you kind of have the shape down will allow this to be the most opaque. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the other eye and I will be right back. Since I have a unicorn on my head, I'm going to use something that's pore filling, so I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 2 Skin Equalizer Smoothing Primer. Just going to go and shove this on my arm and just apply this all over my face. Especially making sure to cover the spots where I have kind of bigger pores, and there's literally so much glitter all over my face. For foundation, I'm going to go in and use the Teint Idole Stick Foundation by Lancome and load my face up with this. That looks so cute. Oh god, the lighting sucks in here right now. I'm so sorry. And, right now I'm actually going to use a brush to kind of buff this in. I honestly do not even remember the last time that I used a brush to apply makeup. Right now this is about as good as this shit's gonna get. So, and for concealer, I'm gonna use the Age Rewind. And use the same brush. Same brush to kind of buff this in. I'm using the Mercier to set my face. I'm going to be using this brush right here, and I'm just going to very gently tap some all over. For contouring, I'm going to be using this brush right here and then my Tarteist Pro Glow, and I'm just going to pop in here and use the sculpting powder right up in here. And need to warm up the temples up in here. And pop a little bit of this underneath the jawline. You know, ladies, to kind of make ourselves look skinnier. Come on. We'll want to highlight a tiny bit, so I want to take, let's see. I think I want to take the color Lit, and I'm just taking my finger, and I'm just going to apply a tiny bit on my cheeks and my nose. That's more like it. My eyebrows are so bad. Okay, to finish up the underneath of the eyes, I'm going to take this little brush right here and go in with the dark brown color. And I'm just going to 2/3 of the way line the underneath of my eye. I'm going to take this little pencil brush and go into this color right here and just smoke that out. For mascara, I'm going to be using my Holy Grail Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to coat my top and bottom lashes. I'm going to do my brows off camera very quickly, and I will be right back. I swear that stupid line makes me so annoyed. This is literally about as good as my eyebrows are going to get today. Like, I just can't do it right now. And then I kind of want to also do a little bit more highlight. I want to do the Becca. Oh my god. When you see that it's broken. I'm going to do some of this Becca Pearl highlight. So I'm going to dip in this little fluffy brush. And I'm going to make myself glow. And while I do have this out, I'm also going to go and just apply this to the inner corner. I'm just going to use this little tiny brush. I'm just going to make sure I am glowing. And also pop this underneath the brow. I want to go ahead and set my face right now, so I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever spray, and I'm just gonna... Whew. This stuff actually tastes really good. Now what I want to do is apply a little bit of these two colors right over this little horn that I have. Like, try to mask it, but this thing is resilient. Like, I can't really do anything. But for the fun part, we get to do lips. So I want to go in and use this color right here. And then I'll probably deepen up the sides. %100% positive that I'm about to keep this makeup on for the rest of the night, which means I'm about to go and be in public like this. And I really don't know how people are gonna react to it. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this black and I'm just gonna put it in the corners. And now I want to take some concealer and clean this up. It could look like this, and I'm just gonna dip right back into the concealer. Up all the messes. And I wanna just... I still want a little bit more with this, so I'm gonna take my Kat Von D Little Alchemist palette, and I want to put the sapphire blue color, and I'm just gonna... Didn't think that I was gonna go that crazy with it, but I guess I am. So there you have it. This is the complete look that I was going for. And yeah, to kind of recap on this little baby right here that I used. This is by Colourpop, obviously, as I mentioned before. I will link down the price down below. Colourpop is obviously very cheap. It's one of the cheapest makeup lines out there, and I was very impressed with these shadows. They are very creamy, they're very blendable. I didn't have any problems with them skipping or being patchy. They applied beautifully, the colors are great. I really like what you could do for fall with these, and then you still can kind of create a more neutral toned and a cool toned look, which I kind of could have done if I didn't use the orange, but I did. But, you know, this is what I ended up having. So I would actually recommend that little Colourpop palette. I actually pretty much like Colourpop products, just because for the price. The only thing about them is the fact that they don't do refunds or exchanges on their products unless they're broken. So if you don't like something, you're kind of stuck with it. But this was a definite hit, and it should be still available. If not, there should be a relaunch coming soon. I will list all the details down below. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.